What's up, friends? We have got some interesting things to look at here. Look, I've got it on already. I've been using it as my EDC bag. This is the ULA Dragonfly 30 liter and 36 liter. This 30 liter is called the pass-through because it does have a luggage pass-through that they built in here. These bags are extremely versatile, okay? Known for their incredible lightweightness, designed as almost like an ultralight outdoors bag. It comes from an ultralight outdoorsy bag company, but it's designed with a laptop compartment, some quick access for travelers. And it's got a hell of a reputation as an incredible lightweight travel bag. Let's see how I really like this bag. It's made from ultra material, this crunchy stuff we're gonna talk about in a second. Let's talk first about these straps. Very contoured. Some bodies aren't gonna like these straps, but I think most of you are going to like them. I actually really like them a lot. It's weird, there's no load lifters, right? You see how the bag comes up a little bit right here? I don't need them. There's an attachment for a hip strap. They have a padded hip strap you can get. I don't need it, especially with the 30 liter. With the 36, I might opt for that if I'm packing it out like crazy and getting some weight in there. Extremely tasty. Just the right amount of mesh here, kind of a robust mesh, a little bit of like a tough padding back there. Very tasty. This is the right amount. Because they're ultralight oriented, they think about materials just differently. These outdoorsy ultralight people they're built a little different. Frameless, okay? Soft-sided. So if you don't have your laptop in there, there is a dedicated laptop pocket. Talk to you about that in a second. And you have some stuff up top. It's gonna like taco flop over. But the framelessness, put your laptop in there, it's just as good as a frame, basically. The framelessness is to your benefit when you are packing into, like for instance, on Frontier Airlines, you have to stuff your bag into that little like, is it a personal item? And it's like smaller than you want it to be. This you can get it in if you don't overpack. Okay, we gotta talk about this ultra material, this ultra crunchy material. But first, this episode is brought to you by NOMADIX, who make my favorite ultralight, high performance towel. Listen, these bags are excellent for the thing that you take to the beach, to the river. When I do that, I take one of these towels. They have two different versions. This is the ultralight. It weighs almost nothing. It takes up very little space in your bag, but it's a full-size towel and it performs well. It actually absorbs moisture. These are all made from recycled materials, so they're earth-friendly. They are sand-resistant. Sand doesn't stick to them. They're extremely quick drying. I have a bunch of these at my house now. I use them all the time. Anytime someone comes over for a sauna or a cold plunge, I've got a bunch of them on a rack. But it works so well. They just absorb faster, dry your hair faster. So I'm like using them as my daily towel now. They come in great designs. I don't know what it is about this like kind of African looking thing or this thing over here. If you use my link below, it'll get you a discount, like 10 or 15% off of these things. So click the link and let them know who sent you. Code Chase Reeves, I think, but it'll be applied when you click the link. Shout out to NOMADIX for supporting the channel, and shout out to you for doing stuff in life where you might need to dry off from. That's exciting. Okay, ultra material is very durable, okay, and lightweight. From its weight and durability point of view, it is one of the best materials that we have on the planet right now. Notice this mesh here that they're using here, as well as on the side pockets. What these are is also made from some ultra material mixed with Lycra. It's stretchy, okay? So this whole zippered front pocket goes all the way down and it's super stretchy. Check out how it keeps its shape. There's nothing in this bag. This is the 36, so it's even bigger than the 30. Got a little lean forward, right, in the design. The structure of the Ultra plus these zippers. Big water sealed zips up here with a little paracord pull. Feels great. I haven't noticed too much of an issue with these. You know, there's a lot of different kinds of water seal on zips. This has, again, to these ultralight material guys or these outdoorsy guys, it's just got a ruggedness to it that you don't tend to see. It's not sheen. It's not sparkly and sheeny. It has this like matte finish. By the way, they don't have little pull tabs down here for zips. I find myself always wanting that on these two main zippers. I want like zip. It is definitely black whole E, okay? One big main compartment, big clamshell opening. There is some organization I'm gonna show you here in a sec, but like, you're gonna put stuff in here into the big bucket. But there is just enough pocketing for me, okay? Including this big brain pocket up top. This top pocket, very spacious. This is perfect. This is perfect. It's on top of everything, so it doesn't end up being flat, smushed between stuff, the way a lot of quick access pockets are, like between your laptop and your main capacity, and you just have like a little bit to go into there. This is right up on top, easy to get to. Water seal zip on that one. Then you have this front flat pocket, okay? Zippered, nice little paracord zips, nothing special. I would maybe like, you know, one thing that you're seeing about this bag is extremely, like no branding, extremely low key in its aesthetic. The only, I mean, you've got this bungee zip cordy thing. You've got the shape and silhouette of it, and you've got like a slight little bit of gray popping through on this mesh here, which is the front of this pocket, okay? All the way down. The bungee you can pull out if you want to, but it's kind of nice to throw a jacket or a towel or something just on the outside. I leave it there. Sometimes I just throw a puffy in it. This would be great for like a flat organizer admin pouch because you don't have like an admin panel with like pen loops and like a business card holder and all that stuff. Put something in there. Two massive water bottle pockets, again with this incredible stretch mesh. I've got like a huge 34-ounce water bottle here. I mean, this thing, even if the bag was totally packed out, this thing's got just enough stretch. And again, I love this material. It's just kind of like futuristic materials here, you know? And you feel it, like the stiffness of it. It's a different bag. You're gonna feel it as a different bag. Extremely versatile. Laptop pocket on the back, okay? Both of these have them. This one's a little bit bigger. You can get your big old frickin' 17-incher in there. Pulled up off the bottom of the bag. On both of these, this one goes to like right there. Padding on the inside, so whatever's on the main compartment, you're padded against that. Padding on the outside, okay? I'm not, like I can imagine people being insecure with their laptop. My MacBook Pro fits in here great, and I don't have any worries about it. This is just the right amount of padding. You can feel the foam that they're using. It feels like a nice, rigid, sort of enough foam. It's not super big and bulky. You can feel the edges are a bit underprotected on the side. This is like the kind of bag that you would be like, damn, that bag would be perfect if it only had a laptop compartment. And this one does. Water sealed zip on that. These are USA made, by the way, which is kind of sick. You have some compression straps right here, which I just don't mess with at all. Maybe if I had like some sort of a hiking stick or something. But here's what I've been, sort of my standard EDC vibe. Using this beaver paddle pocket for some, like a spare hard drive and my charger. I do not like putting heavy stuff on an upper side of a bag. I prefer to do that on the bottom, but I like to be able to get this up front. What I would probably be doing if I was using this long term is using a packing cube for sure. I've got my Focal Batiste in the main compartment here. That comes out every time I get my laptop out and I'm working at a cafe, so might as well just get a little packing cube and put it in here. Less to zip up, but in my first time using it, I just started using these guys. This is nice. Down at the bottom, another zippered pocket. This is my always need you, never want to see you. Gotta have my USB battery and my bag wallet, which is just nice. I'll put links to those things below. Little pair of Laird Hamilton board shorts, you never know. Then you've got inside of here, just some capacity with some compression straps. I've always been bummed on just like the strappiness in here, so I'm kind of tempted to just cut those out. But I haven't, and I probably won't. And I'll tell you why. Because I think the best way to pack this bag is called the clown car style. Or, you know, I don't know, call it whatever you want, but I'm about to show it to you. So let's say I'm taking a couple pairs of pants. Let's just load those out like that. Pair of organic shorts for jammies. Couple pairs of Unbound Merino boxers, links below. Let's make a little space here, push those to the side. Bamboo long sleeve Henley from Free Fly. I'll link to all this stuff below. Gently trying to get it a little wrinkle free. Merino t-shirt from Western Rise. Then let's go ahead and take all of this. Let's pull in our sleeves like so. A few foldy bolds there. Then we just take this whole thing like so. And then you can see how much space there still is in here. This is like a light. I could travel for a while with just that. Your biggest clothes you sort of wear, but you've got a ton of space. This is the 30 liter, okay? When it comes to traveling with these things, if you travel with the 30 liter, number one, you are going to be surprised by how much fits inside of it. I just think you're going to. It doesn't look like there's that much capacity. There is. Nothing in here is filler space. There's like not even a liner really here, right? There's no padding. It's just what you see is what you get. The outside of the bag is the inside of the bag. You're used to having padding and all sorts of layers and things take up space in a bag. This is the opposite of that. So the question of 36 versus 30 is super yummy. That's a delicious question. Because you're obviously going to be able to fit more in the 36. 36 right now, they don't have in a pass-through, right? They don't have it with a luggage pass-through, but I think that they're making that shortly. To give you a little sense of context here. I mean, darkness. You could easily fit a whole other one of these on top of that, and probably a whole other one of these up in here if you folded it differently. So this is a ton of space. Bringing a pair of shoes, your toiletry kit, all that stuff would fit in here, depending on your shoes, right? So you can get a lot more here. But you're not gonna have as good of a daily carry when you get to where you're going, okay? If you travel with this 30 liter, and for some of you, this is gonna be the first bag you do this with, where you go on like a little bit of an extended trip with a bag that's like kind of smaller than you thought it should be, and then you have the experience of like, oh my God, I still brought too much. Number one. Number two, it was so easy to get around. It was so easy to get around. And that makes travel so much better. Don't take my word for it. Matterful.co/travelglad. Got lots of quotes in there from like other travelers. It's like my tips and tricks on like how to travel happier. Matterful.co/travelglad. So for traveling with this thing, now there's nothing in this 30 liter. It is so light. 1.8 pounds. That is very light. We don't have anything on the channel down in that direction. I mean, you know, your IKEA bag is about that much. More for travelers, right? I mentioned that it's squishy. It does not have a frame inside of it. They have a little bit of padding from the laptop compartment, but like you can squish this into lots of spaces. Great for those budget airlines. We already talked about how deceivingly spacious it can be. This top access pocket, really great for if you are like, you know, grab your TSA, your liquids, your things like that, your passport, keep it right there on the go. And then you still have this for, you know, I don't know, for maybe some essential external access tech. Water bottle on one side, and then you get another pouch that's full of snacks on this side. Matterful.co/travelglad. Then, if these straps work well for your body, and like I said, it's gonna work well for most of your bodies. I think the smaller frame could get a little funky. There's a pretty dramatic curve here, but I dig it a lot. One of the things that I would like in the future, ULA, is I wanted like a different sternum strap, or maybe even just something smaller. Maybe just something, I don't know. I want something that feels ULA here. I want like this feels generic to me. But loading this up and then having this on feels so good. So good. We do have this longer handle up top here, which sometimes, like I was just feeling it on my neck, sometimes it comes down there. This is another place where I want this to feel like ULA. I want this to feel like something special. Now this is super functional, right? Maybe it could be a little bit shorter, like so it's not as long of a loop here. I want just a little bit of zhuzh on this, you know? Just a little bit of zhuzh. Call me ULA. But those straps are gonna feel great when you're in those like long walks between like train stations or something like that. That happens when you're traveling. This is gonna be cozy and comfortable. The 30 liter, as opposed to the 36, is a pretty decent everyday carry. slightly bigger than I want it to be, but it's no way like too goofy on my frame. I'm like 5'10". So this is absolutely a bag that you can surrender to. Like you can just go, I'm done. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with one of these. Okay, they have little patches on this one. This one's like, you have an option to get it with a patch or without. I know some of you aren't gonna like the stiffness and the rigidity, right? And others of you are going to be so attracted to the kind of like fucking Jason Bourne-ness of this bag. Like, oh my God, that's Jason Bourne. Others of you are gonna be like turned off by it's just kind of like austere aesthetic, but then certainly what it's like to use, the feel of that Ultra is sort of austere. And others of you are gonna be totally like, that's what I'm talking about. You know, this world's about to fall apart. I need a bag that's gonna be able to fucking hang with me. Let's see, let's do a ramble here. Okay, this is interesting. Instagram trained me to go to a spot on my phone. On my phone, I would always just go bang, bang, and I'd see that red, like, that just like juicy looking, that color. I think I wanted to go to Instagram. That's where I lived most of the time. That's where I would be. There'd be like a lot of things going on Instagram. I realized yesterday that I would just open up my phone and go to there. I didn't intend to go to Instagram. I just like the robot was taking me there. There's this concept that Robert Anton Wilson talked about in some of his novels called the robot. It's like you are actually so unconsciously motivated. You are a mystery to yourself. Let me put it into my terms. I am a mystery to myself. I do not know why I'm reaching for that tobacco or that little spot on my phone. It's just happening. There's a lot of unconscious directions, programming that's happening in our lives. It's conditioned. It's not that it's malicious. It's not that it's like evil. It's just conditioned. Those conditions are shaped by our culture, by our own personal sort of like search for dopamine or for comfort or nourishment or something. Like Instagram is like this world of like, oh, I don't know, what's this? Or just like impress me or entertain me, right? So that place on my phone got associated with those things, and that Instagram fucking logo, the app icon, got associated with that. The trick with unconscious conditioning is to just notice it. And then, like, if I just put Instagram on one swipe over, let's say I wanted to do more on Twitter. I don't know why you'd want, or X, or maybe you want to do that. That's a thought I've had. I should be on Twitter. I'll try going on Twitter more. Like, that's going to change my life. But now, because I'm conditioned to go there, oh, there's something else there. Look at this. It's all black and white. It's like black and white. Contrast, clear thinking, you know? That's what I would hope, but it's not. If you just go look on videos on X, it's the same as everywhere else now. The trick with unconsciously conditioned behavior, the robot, as Robert Anton Wilson calls it, is to notice it. It's not easy to notice. It's not easy to notice. In surfing, there used to be this thing where the guys would say, acknowledge and move on. You missed a great wave, you acknowledge it and you move on. With unconscious conditioning, it can be challenging to acknowledge it, to just notice it. For me, I was stoned and I just watched myself go to there and I was just like, wait, why am I going here? Because I normally go here. Oh, because I've been hooked on that juice and now I can move something else there. You know, what would you move there? If you like had a place in your phone that you regularly went to, what would you decide to put there? For a little bit. It works for a little bit. And then you'll find where that other thing, like, that's good. It's good to know where your robot's going. You're in a relationship with a meat suit, with a robot, with an unconscious, with a lower conscious, with animal instincts, with a gut, right? With a mind, with a heart. Like, we so associate with the mind that our certainty can be a bit of a misnomer. If this is reality, you might be missing out on what's actually going on. The thing I'll say about these guys in conclusion is this is a bag that's about what do you do with the bag. That's what it is. It's a bag about what do you do with the bag. Where do you go with it? Who do you see with it? What kind of nature are you in? What kind of journeys are you on? What sorts of things are you exploring? This isn't a bag where you're like, oh, that's sick. You can open it up. It's got little spots for my camera batteries, and they've got like a green or red, and I could switch it if that battery's been used. It's like, no. This is the opposite, and I am so attracted to that, right? There's something so like, right on. What are we going to do with this bag about it? It's a call to adventure. I don't know. Where would you take this bag? Answer me in the comments. Where would you take this bag? Shout out to these guys. They sent me these bags. They haven't paid me to review this or anything. Shout out to Jeff, who's a commenter here on the channel, who is always like, you gotta review this bag. And got me in touch with them, basically. So me, it's the 30 liter. And it's a little bit like, there's a fantasy that like evolves around this bag for me, where it's like, that's it. Sell everything and just go live this life. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Find care. Serve hard. Dig in. Bye-bye.